Daweed bin Daweed here. Just walking. Out here just walking up the street here in Richmond, California. Just had some little thoughts on some things too. Want to kind of discuss a few little things. Not much. Ain't too many people want to hear from me. And that's cool. But there's this complex that I see with a lot of our people. A lot of our males or whatnot, and that being particularly, I call it there's a few little things I call it. I'm going to put something appropriate or say something appropriate. I could get very smirkish or vulgar with my words, but I won't. I call it the Davidic Throne Syndrome. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of our males that want to be not a David or a Davidic descendant, but they want to be the Davidic descendant to sit on the throne of Daweed, David, Dawadah, Dawiyah, whatever the case is. But I think, biblically speaking, I think that that's a problem or whatnot. And it's a lot of you people that are claimants. Don't get me wrong, I do know for a fact that there's many Davidic descendants in these ghettos. But as far as qualified to sit on the throne, that I see most of the Israelite schools, camps, and all of that, one stroke they want to be a David, then another stroke they want to be the Yahushai, and then it's just, or Yeshua, Yehoshua, Yahushua, Yahusha, Jesus, Beetlejuice, whatever the heck ever. I just noticed that, man, and it's just crazy. There's some of you people out there that are claiming that the Most High spoke to you and all of this type of stuff, and honestly, I hardly believe it. I mean, meaning the Most High himself. So I think people need to really differentiate who actually spoke to the individual, instead of putting the Most High's name on it and they jawsing and they smirkish to everybody, getting people to believe these people, and these people be jawsing. And so, in retrospect, getting back to that sitting on the throne syndrome, when it's a few criterions that one has to fulfill, which means to put into effect, to make full, to satisfy, but it doesn't mean to bring to an end. So it's certain criteria that if you are this individual, then this is what some of the things that certain people should be doing. One of them is gathering our people back to the land of Israel. Whatever people spin on it, whether they want to call it the actual Jerusalem or Yerushalayim, the Hollywood Jewish version, or the Tel Arad, over there with Rabbi Hoshea, or Rabbi Mario and them out there in the land, which I would more so agree with that brother, with his great research, by the way. Or for some videos I've viewed on YouTube, to the degree that they say that it's in Africa. I mean, in that sense, what we now call Africa, Leo Skippy is African, it's okay, you ain't got to correct, so, but, yeah. It's probably sounding real dumb right now, ignorant. Some people might be feeling some of the things I'm saying, but point being, there's some things that has to be done if you are this Davidic individual. And it ain't no modeling show for some of you individuals. You might catch a drift on who I might be referring to. This ain't no photo shoot of who can look the most sexiest and all. I'm talking to some of you, us Israelite males, that every other day it's another damn picture that you gotta take and try to make yourself look like Tupac on one end, and then the other end you want to be all smooth, or just different people or whatever. Just, it's like chess, man. Play your position. It's enough work for everybody in this. Everybody can't be the David, or the Dawid, or the Dawiyad, or the Dawadah, or the Daoud, or whatever name we want to put on it, you know, as a stamp of approval for the name. Or Dervi, or whatnot. That's the Ghanaian way, the Ever way of saying it. Me, I personally would put my money on where the individual is probably going to be gathering people is going to be from the land. I've heard all these different breakdowns, or at least most of them. If I haven't heard all of them, I heard most of the deep breakdowns and different stuff from all these different people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on nobody in the sense on, because we all still trying to learn, but it's like, dang, come on now, man. Who gonna bring us back to the land? I mean, I think in Isaiah 60 or Yeshayahu or Isaiah for some people, however you want to pronounce it, it's still certain criterion that has to be fulfilled. And as we both know, for those who are messianic or non-messianic, I want to touch on that in another video, but you know that you know, so anyhow, get into it. It's just people are watching, you know, like Jay-Z and them, or before even him, the streets is watching. People are paying attention, because I know I am. I'm back on fake book, Fed book, or Facebook. I just got back on because I decided to. I think it's time to start putting some stuff out. But in the meantime, because technically it really is literally a meantime, you know, I think it's about, you know, as we know, I know it's about coming back to the commandments. Deuteronomy 30 is the remedy. There's other passages of scriptures or whatever in the Hebrew scripture, the Ever, if you will, the Ibar, the whatever we want to call it, Ivri, Abri, that confirms that Deuteronomy 30 is the remedy. So as far as the Davidic throne or the Davidic seat, for those who believe the individual is coming back, and for those who can see that the individual is going to come from our seed, you know, which not denying those who believe in whatever they want to call him, but there's certain things that has to be done. And from what I can see, now people question what you doing. I'm doing a lot. Been getting a lot of work done, but there's a lot of things that need to be done, and you know, people need to be doing if they want to fit that or fulfill that criteria of being that Davidic descendant, that they want to sit on this throne or whatnot. So other than that, you know, people, they not really, you know, doing what they supposed to be doing for those who want to be David. Dawid, Dawood, Dawiyah, Dawadah. There's 6 things that could be named that is obvious to see that you ain't the one. If this is like the Matrix, Morpheus and Neo, the one, then a lot of y'all ain't. You know, because it's simple and plain. Certain passages are dark sentences, evidently, but it's certain stuff that's just simple and plain. And so again, walking in Richmond, California, for all you know, individuals in the YouTube world in different states, and even in my own city here in Richmond, or a city I actually am domiciled, not a resident, but domiciled, study law. You know, it's like, hey, get it together. Dawid bin Dawid. Hopefully somebody got something from it. I'll make an even better video than this. All right, shalom.